Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Matt here. Hope you're doing well. And today we are talking about the 20th anniversary of Cinderella Man. Yes, this is based on the boxer Jimmy Braddock, played by Russell Crowe. It also starred Renee Zellweger, Paul Giamatti, directed by Ron Howard. I am a huge fan of this movie. When we were talking about, obviously when we were talking about Russell Crowe, of course he was going to Gladiator, of course. Even like A Beautiful Mind, of course. But we will forget about this one movie that came out in the summer of 2005, Cinderella Man. And it is not only a great underdog story, which is based on a true story, it's a great sports movie, it's a great boxing film, it's a great character film, as, watching an actual character, And it has, to me, still, one of the best acting that year in 2005. Yes, we had movies like Capote, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yes, we had Brokeback Mountain, Heath Ledger, movies that went on to win Academy Awards, and actors like Philip Seymour Hoffman winning the Oscar, Heath Ledger being nominated that year. It was a big year. It was 2005. But this one movie came out, this one little movie, that just happened to come out at the wrong time. This is definitely one of those instances that the release date for this movie was completely off on every level. I still do not understand why Universal put this movie out in the summer of 2005. This is not a summer movie. This is an Oscar bait movie. This is prime fall movie season. This is prime Oscar season movie. It has the acting that, I know they have some of the best acting of that year. Russell Crowe should have been nominated. I think this is when he was in that hotel room and threw the phone at the hotel clerk, and that got him a bad reputation. This is still one of some of the best acting from Renee Zellweger. This is one of the best acting from Paul Giamatti. Giamatti still hasn't won an Oscar. And this is not only that. This is also a movie that is coming off of Russell Crowe for Gladiator and A Beautiful Mind and Master and Commander. Boom, boom, boom. This is also for Renee Zellweger, just coming off of Chicago and Cold Mountain, where she won Best Supporting Actress. This is Paul Giamatti, just a year prior, coming off of Sideways. We're not drinking fucking Merlot. Okay? So you have these three actors that have been going boom, 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 like on a hot streak. Then you got Ron Howard, who just, he did The Grinch in 2000. In 2001 he had A Beautiful Mind. He won Best Director that year, Best Picture. Jennifer Connelly won Best Supporting Actress. So he also had that movie in 2003, The Missing, with Kate Blanchett and Tommy Lee Jones in a small role for Aaron Eckhart. That Western, pretty good movie. And then he's coming on this. Already worked with Russell Crowe on A Beautiful Mind. Same studio, Universal. This movie should have took all of the awards that year. This is literally one of those years, just like A Beautiful Mind, where Russell Crowe should have walked away with the Oscar. This dude should really have 3 Oscars on his mantle for Best Actor in all 3. So once again, Russell Crowe playing Jim Braddock. He has that charm. He can also bring that serious moments, emotional moments, plus the physicality of getting in shape to box. Like I said, Renee Zellweger as the mom in this movie is great. The wife, um, she has a lot of great emotional themes, trying to, take care of the family. Also, this is during the Great Depression. Those are also a period piece that also making it look perfect between the setting, the wardrobe, the music. You really get thrown back into the Depression era, and they really do a great job of showing the struggles for families, especially the Braddock family. But then you also see like some of the rich people, how they're affected by the Depression, like Paul Giamatti and his wife. So it's a very great film on that level. One way thing, you got Renee Zellweger, but then she also has this conflicting relationship of, well, my husband needs to make money, and if he's only going to be able to make money by boxing, then, but I don't want him to box if he boxes and he gets hurt, or like the rival opponent, Matt Streck, and is known for killing people in the ring. I don't want him to fight, but once again, we need the money. This is during the Great Depression. And then you have Paul Giamatti as the coach, as the trainer, and he has the serious moments. He can bring that charm. He can bring those comedic moments, his one-liners. Are you gonna punch him or pork him? What are you doing? Come on. It's a great cast. Ron Howard does an excellent job behind the camera. There's another winner for him in my book, Just Like a Beautiful Mind. I'm surprised they haven't worked together again, Russell Crowe and Ron Howard. What's going on? And I would even argue with a lot of people right now that other than for the movie Rush in 2012 with Chris Hemsworth, the racing movie, I would say Ron Howard, to be honest, hasn't made a great movie since Cinderella Man, in my opinion. 20 years. 20 years! What are you doing? This guy used to be one of my favorite directors. Come on, I said The Grinch, A Beautiful Mind, what was the other one? Apollo 13. He did that other one, was it Parenthood? Come on, dude. What you doing? Then he went down the problem is he went down that rabbit hole of the Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and it was like, buddy, what are you doing? He tried to do a comedy again in 2011 with The Dilemma, which I do like that movie. Vince Vaughn, Kevin James, Jennifer Connelly, Winona Ryder, and Channing Tatum. I do like that film. But it's not like up here. It's a funny comedy. The music, I love the score for this film. Great score. The problem is, like I said, it was a bad release date. Why they put this movie out in the summer, I have no idea. Because, let me explain why this movie was always going to lose. This movie got A's from everywhere. Go on Rotten Tomatoes. It has like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is a bona fide great movie. It is over like 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it flies by. Great pacing, great music, great direction, great acting. The boxing scenes are great. It's a great underdog story. It's a period set piece during the Great Depression. And you go, how did this movie fail? Well, like I said, it came out in the summer, people. 2 weeks before this movie came out, you had Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And like I said in my Star Wars review, I saw Star Wars the week it came out, the week that my brother graduated high school. But then I went and saw Star Wars again over 2 weeks after it was released. So around the same time that this movie came out, I went back to the theater to see Star Wars. Just like a lot of people were doing. So right there, it was already competing with Star Wars Episode 3, the final film in the prequels, and possibly the final Star Wars movie that we were ever going to get. We finally got more 10 years later. But we don't talk about those. But then after that, the week after Cinderella Man, we had Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And that was all the hype, because we knew Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are a couple. This is how they met on the making of this movie. And hey, it's the director who did The Bourne Identity. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Then the week after that, you had Batman Begins. Yeah, the Batman. Right there, no, of course Batman wasn't at the top of the top because they hadn't made a Batman film in almost 8 years, and the last one was Batman and Robin. But because of the great response and reviews for Batman Begins, that is a more serious, character-driven. You got Christian Bale, you got Morgan Freeman, you got Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, Liam Neeson. I mean, you got Christopher Nolan behind the director's chair, Rutger Hauer in there. I mean, it was like, ooh. And sure enough, people want to see Batman. Who doesn't want to see Batman? And then after that, you got Herbie Fully Loaded, a new Lindsay Lohan Disney movie. Yeah, the last time she was in a Disney movie was Freaky Friday. Yeah. And then before that, The Parent Trap. Yeah, so this was still at the time where Lindsay Lohan was hot stuff. And remember a year prior, she was in Mean Girls. So they all the hype. And then after that, you had War of the Worlds, the new Steven Spielberg movie with Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning. Yeah, the last time that Tom Cruise went with Steven Spielberg was Minority Report. Great movie. This is a remake, but it's Steven Spielberg. No win. That's like a no-win right there. And then you had a Fantastic Four movie. The first Fantastic Four movie. Hey, Chris Evans, Ian Bruford, Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis. Yeah. Then you had the remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Directed by Tim Burton. Johnny Depp. The Johnny Depp. Let me repeat that. The Johnny Depp, who at this time was on fire. Why? Because he had Pirates of the Caribbean in 2003. In 2004, he had Finding Neverland. Both movies he was up for an Academy Award for. So let me tell you, Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. Tim Burton, Johnny Depp. The last movie they did together was Sleepy Hollow, which was awesome. And then to end the middle of July, you had the greatest comedy in the past 20 years. The movie that is so quotable, it's not even funny. The number one movie still, to me, in terms of comedy, greatness, Wedding Crashers. Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Rachel McAdams, Bradley Cooper, Christopher Walken, and the homo. Yeah. Come on now. So you gotta see, you look at what came before the movie came out, and also don't forget, also in May, you have the remake of The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler remake, with him, Chris Rock, Burt Reynolds, which was actually a pretty fun movie. So it's like, but that was more of a comedy sports movie with Adam Sandler, when Adam Sandler was still on top. Not to mention it was a football movie, and the last time we saw Adam Sandler in a football movie was The Waterboy. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks. H2O. Gatorade. H2O. Gatorade. No, Colonel Sanders, Mama's right. You're wrong. Mama's right. There must be something wrong with his medulla oblongata. You know, there was a no-win for this movie. But there could have been a win if you moved it to the fall, like in November, December of 2005, you could have had a win. You could have had another A Beautiful Mind. You could have had another Gladiator. And there's the Russell Crowe winning. Not to mention, if you moved it to the fall, his little hotel stunt would have already been passed, gone, forgotten about. Forget about it. But no. So anyway, have you seen Cinderella Man? This is a great movie, great sports movie, great underdog story, great acting. I still cannot believe Paul Giamatti still hasn't won the Academy Award. But let me know in the comments below, Matt and Matt here. Are you going to go back and watch Cinderella Man? Hey, look, it's Cinderella Man. Let me know in the comments below. Matt and Matt, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment.